Good morning, guys. Welcome back to my channel. Come on, shine. And those who are new, a hearty welcome to them. And please subscribe my channel because I know that you watch my videos but do not subscribe. This is not fair at all. So please subscribe my channel and hit the bell icon because I deal very important videos. I make very important videos based on English literature. So. And today I'm going to deal an essay by Virginia Woolf, A Room of One's Own, and I'll also explain what Alice Walker said for this essay. Actually, Virginia Woolf has given two lectures at Newnham College and Girton's College, and feminism, especially feminism, is highly discussed in this essay. So let's move to the video. Actually, Virginia Woolf has been invited for the lecture in the group of young ladies, and the subject of that lecture was women and fiction. So, two things Virginia Woolf has suggested for the women. Firstly, she should have money, and secondly, she should have a personal room for herself by which there will be privacy and she could write fictions. So now is the question that why she should have money and privacy for writing fictions. So for clarifying this statement, she shared her own experience through the fictional characters, and those three fictional characters were Mary Beton, Mary Seton, and Mary Carmichael or Carmichael, whatever you want to pronounce it. And the story is written on these three's point of view. So you can also refer them as a narrator. So I would like to say one thing. Here that the narrator is not that much important. The name is not that much important, but what they actually experienced in their life, that is more important. So now listen carefully, okay? Here Mary Beton reveals the story of one day of Oxbridge University, and this is a fictional university, right? Because it is the combination of universities, two universities, those are Oxford University and Cambridge University. And there Mary Beton trying to compose a lecture in that university. Mary Beton trying to compose a lecture. So for having peaceful environment, she moved to the lawn of the university. But there the guard has said that it is reserved for the greatest scholars. You cannot enter. You cannot sit at this area. And she went from there, and she went here and there, finding some peaceful area in that university. But the same thing happened to her, means she was not allowed to sit anywhere, and she went to the lunch party and was shocked to hear the conversation between men and women. In that lunch party, she was shocked. Mary Beton was shocked to listen the conversation between men and women. And then she moved to a fictional women college for dinner. And there she realized that women have less education and money in comparison to men. And next day, she went to British Library. And there she found that every book is written by men only. Even the story of women is also written by men. By watching this, she got very angry and thought that women are like a mirror in which men saw themselves more powerful and greater. And what a man can write for women. He is not experiencing the struggle, the willpower and life that the women is living and what women is thinking. Then how a man can write about a woman? So they write for securing their own, speciality, superiority. Then she moves to the conclusion that hardly any story is written about the average women. Hardly some story is written. that what a woman is. Then she imagines another fictional character, Judith Shakespeare, the sister of William Shakespeare. Okay? So even though being the sister of William Shakespeare, she cannot write a single word, whereas Shakespeare has written great dramas. It only happened because of the societal norms forced on the women. She could not able to express her talent and she committed suicide. Judith Shakespeare committed suicide. And after completing this statement, the narrator says that now there is much possibilities for women to write. And then Virginia Woolf talks about the history of women writers and how they influenced women to write more. And now women are able to write poetry same as the level William Shakespeare has written. But still, women have many limitations for freely writings. Women cannot express freely of themselves. Okay? After giving this speech, after narrating this fictional story, Virginia Woolf started speaking directly to the audience and says that and suggested to them that create your legacy for your daughters. And fictions is not the individual good, but it is the common good. Anyone can write fictions, not only one. Now not only one has the right to write only fictions, anyone can write. So write more. So her point was this, to write more and more. And finally Virginia will conclude with this statement that women should write as much as can possible, and the history should not be based on his story but on her story also. So here you can see, guys, Virginia Woolf did not move away from the topic women and fiction, because the subject of the lecture was women and fiction. And Alice Walker, who has written Color Purple, I'm very sure you all are acquainted with the name Alice Walker. So she has critically commented on this essay that okay, women should have money and privacy to write fictions, but what about Phillis Wheatley? She is also a writer, and she was a slave also, who didn't have control on herself. She was sold at her 7 years old age to a wealthy family. But at this point of time, she was lucky because that wealthy family taught her and encouraged her to write poems. In spite of being so much harassed, in spite of being, in spite of suffering a lot, she has written her own works of poetry. And Phillis Wheatley was the first African American woman who has published her own book of poetry. And I hope you liked this video. And if you liked, then please subscribe and give me a thumbs up. Okay, I'll see you in my next video with Alice Walker, some of Alice Walker's work. Okay, bye bye. Take care. Keep loving literature.